Next, we will move to SURFnet, and we will look forward to a presentation from Steijaert. Andres is going to show us the work that has been going on with the video portal in SURFnet.
Thank you, Steve. Good afternoon, everyone. I will indeed tell you all about this SURFnet video portal stuff, but before we get there, I would like to very briefly introduce SURFnet to you all. We are the national computer network in the Netherlands for higher education and research, and we offer services to around 500,000 end users, and we have around 150 member organizations. And we operate a rather nice network with a backbone of 10 gigabit and client connections that reach up to 1 gigabit per second, and that allows us to do nice things like high quality and high bandwidth streaming. Hence the video portal, we gather all our streaming services, production and distribution tools in their information retrieval components. I'm going to tell you about these components right now. In the Netherlands, we see in the last few years a rapid growth in the use of streaming material, streaming video. Already more than 1/3 of our users make use of our streaming servers and put video content in our streaming infrastructure, and we also see a more and more tighter integration of streaming media within environments like Blackboard, WebGT, the online learning environments. That is, of course, a very good thing. The first step that we have to take to get streaming video in our system is to make sure there is actually content available. So our users have to create content. And what we have done, we have created a streaming media guide, a manual, a book, and we try to help them get on their way, and we try to help them in producing streaming material. So we pay attention to production aspects like how do you make a storyboard, how do you shoot your video, how do you edit the material, how do you publish it on the web, all these aspects we talk about this. And also copyright issues, because that's important too. What can you put on the web? Can you put content that is already created on a VHS tape? Can you put this on the web? You have to ask people about if it's allowed and stuff. Important issues. We always advise our end users to go for MPEG files, especially when producing the content. So do not go for Windows Media here. When producing content, choose MPEG 1 or MPEG 2. There are a few reasons for this. The first one, MPEG gives very high quality. MPEG 1 gives around VHS videotape quality, so that's rather good. And MPEG 2 data gives even better quality, that's DVD quality. In fact, the file format used on a DVD disc is MPEG 2. So these are very good formats to use when you produce video, and they are also very usable for archival purposes. You can archive them on a CD. You can put around 1 hour of MPEG 1 data on a CD, and nowadays with the DVD prices, well, they are becoming quite affordable, so you can also back up your MPEG data to DVD as well. So that is a very usable format. MPEG is a ISO standard, so there's no one company that develops and maintains the MPEG. It's a well-established standard, so there's no risk of a vendor lock here. So if you choose for MPEG, if you produce a video, it's safe for now and for the years to come as well. When people produce their MPEG data, and preferably the MPEG 2 data, of course we understand not everyone can view these files. Because for MPEG 1 you need around 1.5 megabits per second. We actually stream that MPEG 1 data. We have a streaming infrastructure that is capable of streaming 300 concurrent MPEG 1 streams. We also stream MPEG 2, and we can reach around 50 concurrent MPEG 2 streams as well. And MPEG 2 streams can be used in an educational setting, in a classroom, for example, where you can project MPEG 2 on a large screen. It's very usable for that because of the high quality. But of course, you also want to stream in other file formats, in Real, in Windows Media, in QuickTime, and what have you. So our users need to have a user-friendly way of converting this MPEG data to the specific streaming file formats. And there is, of course, converter software available, but that is most of the times quite hard to understand, quite hard to use. You have to install it. It's expensive, so there has to be a better way, and I think we found that. We created a web-based environment where people can upload their MPEG data and convert it, let it be converted to other file formats. I'm going to show you some screenshots. This is quite user-friendly, I think. The user uploads the data and checks, I want to convert this MPEG-2 file. And then he simply selects, he marks the checkboxes of the desired target formats. And then our streaming and transcoding server goes to work, and that transcoding server is converting to these selected target formats. We use a program and application called Telestream Flip Factory for that, and we use a dual processor server that is dedicated for doing this transcoding work. Once transcoded, we have the MPEG-2 file. We have transcoded it to other streaming file formats, Real, Windows Media, QuickTime. Then it's time to put these files on the actual streaming servers. And at SURFnet, we have a number of streaming servers available. We've been doing Windows Media and Real and QuickTime for 4 years now, so that's well established. And I can agree with the previous speaker. We also see that Windows Media is gaining in popularity, especially the version 9 codec seems to be good. It offers a good compression ratio, high quality, and in fact, in the Netherlands, a lot of people are switching from the Real format to the Windows Media format. So there are actually more people moving over towards the media platform. Of course, Windows Media can be used. It's a very good streaming format, but again, for archival purposes, please choose MPEG-2 there, because you're safer for the future, because we all know Microsoft writing, you never know in which way they will take that media framework. For MPEG streaming, we use the Casena Media-based server. As said, we stream MPEG-1, we stream MPEG-2 data as well. MPEG-4, I haven't mentioned this before, it is a new file format, and we think it will become very popular in the years to come. It's a broad framework that offers qualities ranging from viewing a media file on a telephone screen all the way up towards digital cinema quality. So you have a lot of users for this. There's a trick there, however. The ISO MPEG-4 specification deals with the broad framework, but it doesn't deal with making an MPEG-4 file available for streaming. You have to put some extra set of specifications in there, and the ISMA group, the Internet Streaming Media Alliance, is taking care of this. So they further defined the MPEG file format and made it available for streaming purposes. This allows it, for example, to stream an MPEG-4 file with the Casena Media-based server and view it with something like the Apple QuickTime software. Very convenient, and both Apple and Casena are part of this ISMA group. However, our transcoding tool, the Flip Factory from Telestream, only generates ISO MPEG-4 files and not ISMA-compliant MPEG-4 files. So at the moment, we cannot yet stream large-scale MPEG-4 files because of these limitations. And, well, that's a big disappointment for us at the moment, because we had hoped that this Flip Factory software would be able to generate, to convert to the ISMA-compliant MPEG-4 files. So there's definitely some work to be done for MPEG-4, but we think it will be a dominant format for the years to come. I've put some URLs here towards that point to the NVIVIO website. NVIVIO is doing some work on getting interactivity in MPEG-4. MPEG-4 allows it to make objects in a movie clickable, and NVIVIO is a company that's moving fast ahead with these types of services. So if you download the PowerPoint sheet, you can go to the NVIVIO website and check these things out for yourself. It's a nice example there. Okay, we have the files. It's on the streaming server. We've put it there, and well, now we hope that people will actually start viewing these files. But as we all know, looking for streaming files is not quite easy to do. There are numerous search engines that index web pages, Word files, PDF files, but looking for streaming media files specifically is not quite there yet. And therefore, we created our own search engine that indexes all our streaming media files in the Netherlands, in the higher education and research field. And how we do this? Well, it's quite easy. Each file that is uploaded towards our server, we put a metadata tag, a descriptive content tag in there that describes the content of this file. And that makes searching and indexing possible. We use the qualified Dublin core standard for that. Why? Qualified Dublin core has been around for years, for many years already. It is used to describe web pages, to put metadata tags in web pages, so it's a well-established standard. And with the qualified Dublin core extension, it is quite usable to also describe streaming media content. And together with a number of libraries in the Netherlands, we implemented our qualified Dublin core metadata model. And that is quite usable. There are only 5 required fields that are the green ones. The ones printed in green are required. So a user has to fill these in, but, well, that's not much of a thing to do. It's quite easily done. And this works rather well. The infrastructure allows it to not only index files that are stored at SURFnet, but we created it in such a way that you can also index files, streaming files that are located at streaming servers of universities. So we hope it will become the central search and an index facility for streaming files in the Netherlands. I've put some screenshots on here. This is how this user interface looks. Well, it's very straightforward. What you expect. These are web pages. You see a browse facility. Users can browse through collections. They have a simple search and they have an advanced search screen. What you expect. This is what you I think expect from the search engine. When we were building our streaming video portal, our users asked for one very specific feature. They wanted to be able to put file protection on streaming media files. A lot of organizations want to be able to say only these files, this set of files can only be viewed from within our own organization. And we managed to put the Casena MPEG streaming server, we managed to put a file protection layer on there. Actually, it has 3 layers. The first one is a file is only available for one or more organizations that are part of SURFnet, and we use a hostname-based IP address, hostname-based authentication method for this. The second one is the files that are available for the whole SURFnet community, and the third one is basically no protection at all. The file can be viewed by everyone and anyone. And this is a very, very popular feature from our platform, but only right now for the MPEG files, and we hope to be able to do it also for the Windows Media files very shortly. To put file protection in a file, like the other things I showed you all, we wanted this to be easy because it has to be used by a lot of users, and not everyone is technically advanced and has the expertise and knows what this all is. As you can see on this screen, a user can simply select the organizations that can view the file. And an end user, from an end user's point of view, when he or she searches for the file, as you can see in the bottom of the screen, there's a lock. And that means that MPEG-2 file cannot be viewed because it is locked, and the MPEG-1 file is available. When viewing files, especially in an educational context, I think most of the times when you want to show something, you don't want to show the whole file. You only want to view a specific clip from a file, only a small part. And we created an editing tool that makes it available to select just a small part in a file, just a small clip. There are of course, very specialistic programs available that allow you to do this, but we want this to be easy. All our users have to be able to select a clip from a file and to use that in their own environment, in their own Blackboard, in their own spreadsheet, in their own web page. And we choose for a way where we basically created a web-based interface, very easy to use, and I'm going to show you this. We are actually working on version 2, and version 2 has an extra feature. If you put several clips behind one another, you can make a playlist. That's a very powerful feature, we hope. The interface is very simple. You see there's a little laser beam somewhere. Yeah. There are 3 pink buttons, and this is the way it works. A user plays back the file, marks a begin point, marks an end point, and that is basically all there is to it. Because as you can see on the next screen, this is the output generated. I'm going to use my laser beam again. On the top of the screen you see a URL. That URL points to that specific clip, so a user can copy this and use it in its own web page or Blackboard. And there are also HTML code snippets available to put this as an embedded movie clip in Blackboard, in WebCT, or in a web page. So very easy to use, but very powerful. Or at least that's what we hope. We put all these components, all these services, we put them together on our portal website. The address is video.surfnet.nl. And unfortunately, the front end is only in Dutch, but that is because we have a Dutch target audience. The video search address, the second one, that one points to the search engine environment, and that is available in English as well as in Dutch, so you can have a look there. Also, the backend is available in English, and if you want to know more about it, if you want to play around with this metadata, with the file management features, I'll be happy to set you up with a demo account there, so you can try it out for yourself. Just let me know or email me, and the first one is really excellent. I have one final slide, and that is not about the SURFnet video portal, it's about the TF Netcast group. With all my TF Netcast colleagues here, I wouldn't have dared to not mention it, because probably kick me. The TF Netcast group is a streaming media group from Terina, and we deal with streaming media issues. We discuss streaming media, and we also work together in a number of projects. We're looking at a live streaming announcement portal, and we hope to possibly extend it to a live on-demand real platform, a real portal where we can share content. Sounds like a good idea to get more content from the whole of Europe together. And right now we are also doing a questionnaire, a survey. We want to find out what you want to do with streaming, what your wishes are, what you hope that will be developed, how we can take these services one step further. The results will be made publicly available, so good for the TF Netcast group, but also good for you, I think, because it gives you valuable information in how your organization can use streaming as well. I put down the URL, and I would like to ask you, please fill it in if you have the time. It only takes about 20 minutes, and you help us, but you also help yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Anders. Does then